Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am working on two faith journals. One is a baby or a child themed journal, and the other one is for one of my beautiful patrons. Her name is Jude, so I thought, of course, I have to make her a Jude faith journal. And I've prepared all of my blank pages and feature pages. For the feature pages, I used these wonderful illustrated pages from the Word Bible, and I love the layout. It's very visually engaging, and I just love how there's these coloured illustrations, or not illustrations, photographs, and I just pulled out ones that had babies or children for the faith journal. For the child themed one, for Jude, I picked out pictures of landscapes and ladies and beautiful images, things that reminded me of her. So I'm just separating them all out, and as I arrange these pages and put these journals together, I will share my faith message for today. Now, this one, I actually filmed a version of this video where I just freestyled it. I had an idea of what I wanted to say, but it was all over the place. So then I sat down afterwards. I recorded like 24 minutes of me just talking and that helped me sort of like get a draft out. And then I sat down at my computer and wrote out this, I don't know what you call them, like chapter or article or post or something. This one I've titled Plan A, and it's tying a lot of different ideas together, so I'm not sure how cohesive it is, but I hope with all of my messages and videos and things I share here that they will be encouraging, uplifting, that they will bring something good, and that they will be a light, a lamp in dark places. So here is this post. It is called Plan A. And a subtitle for it might be, or a tagline, confession or love. Here we go. So even if I wasn't a Christian and if there was no God, I would still live the way I live, because to me it's the best life for me to live. I know there are a lot of accusations against Christians and what we believe and how we live, but for me the heart of it is love. I believe in the way of love, and I'm about living the way of love. When I was in the blog world several years ago, I had this intellectual phase when I wanted to be in dialogue with atheists and really be in their world. I had this perhaps idealistic idea that we would share our perspectives, and even though we might not agree, we could at least understand each other. But I stumbled across something that felt like a militant atheist niche, where most of the people there weren't interested in understanding but attacking. I found I wasn't welcome, and it wasn't good for my well-being, as I got upset by the accusations and assumptions. They would bring things up like the Crusades and the damage Christianity has caused throughout history, and I tried to say that I agreed that they are terrible things, and that's not what I'm about or what my faith is about. I was frustrated because I didn't personally do those things in history, and yet it felt like they were rejecting me because of it, and they were rejecting my faith because of it. But then, back then, I tried to separate myself from the harm Christianity has caused in the past. But over the years of my life, I've learned to wear this. As a family, as the body of Christ, I confess and apologize for the terrible things that have been done in the name of Christ, for the things that have been done in the past by my fellow Christians, and for the things that I have done in the present and in the future, the things that I will do that don't show love. So fair enough that people bring up these terrible things, and fair enough that I have to wear it. But I still hold that you don't have to throw everything out because of these terrible things. In the book Blue Like Jazz, Donald Miller, my favourite book by the way, he talks about how he felt like Christians would try to sell Christianity and they'd hide things behind their backs. They'd show the shiny, clean things, but they'd hide the messy things and the things that don't seem to make sense. And the longer I live, the more I am okay with mess in my faith, with contradictions, doubts, questions, and struggles with faith. I feel like some people think if you have doubts or questions, then you can't have real faith, or you can't really be a Christian. But I love that God renamed Jacob Israel, which means wrestle. The people of God literally wrestle with God. And I love the idea that the Bible is something that we turn like a diamond, and each time we turn it, we see something different. I love that you might see something different to what I see, and it may look like a contradiction, but it's just another facet of the diamond. And this is, I believe, like a Jewish or a rabbi idea. I love the idea that we don't need agreement with a certain way of seeing things. We can learn from each other's perspective, and it's a living, breathing, dynamic faith like that. As a Christian, I myself am full of mess and contradictions. I can be kind and cruel. I can help people and hurt people. I can believe in love while also hating myself. When I cause harm in the world with my pride, arrogance, and selfishness, I'm not proud of it. I do not like myself because of it. I don't want to do it, and I don't want it to be part of me. When I listened to Jefferson Bethke's spoken word poem called Darkness is Losing, again, quite a few years ago, the first time I heard it, I was struck by the line that the church is plan A, there is no plan B. I thought, that's a terrible plan. I was like, God, that's a terrible idea to have people be your plan to show who you are and your way to the world. Because we mess it up. We mess it up all the time. Just look at all those things those atheists bring up. I'm with them. Christians have done terrible things in God's name. And I just look at my own life. I can't go one day without messing up. Sometimes I'm so over myself. I can be so done with myself because of how I fail and get love wrong so many times. On one hand, the church being plan A can make me feel so discouraged and disillusioned with my own faith, with the church, with Christianity. But on the other hand, when I heard that line about the church being plan A, I was actually encouraged, because this is it. This is all we've got, so we better keep trying. Terrible things have been done, yes, and I'm not going to let them make me roll over and give up. I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to keep trying over and over. When I and my fellow Christians fail at being loving, I'll try again and again to do better and love better. Because love is the heart of it. Strip everything else away. And for me, Christianity is about love. This is why even if God wasn't real, I would still live this way. I believe love is the best way to live. This is what I stand on. Since I do believe in God, that He is a being of love, I do stand on God. But the heart of it all is love. And I think everyone, no matter what you believe, can get behind love. Deep down, I believe that all the problems in the world are caused by a lack of love. I don't know if that's true, but that's just my gut feeling. When people grow up without knowing love or being loved well, I feel like that's what leads to people causing harm to each other and themselves. In terms of psychology, for me, this matches up with attachment theory, the idea that we all need attachment, love, safety, belonging, and if we don't get these things, things can get pretty messed up. I think so many of us struggle to love ourselves and to know how much we are loved because of our life experiences. I just think of a world where people really knew how much they are loved, and it brings me to tears. It is such a beautiful thing. And I always say that love is the most powerful force in the world, because love changes people, love transforms. Our job is simply to receive love. If we truly knew how much we are loved, that love naturally overflows, and we can't help but love others, because when we know how much we are loved, we also know how much everyone else is equally loved. And to me, that is heaven. When we truly know we are loved and we truly love ourselves and love others, there is no room for power struggles, war, greed, judgment, or fear when there is only love. It all starts with love. It's all about love. Pain and suffering and the parts of ourselves that harm others and the terrible things done in the name of Christ, they're all there. But they don't stop us from being loved, and they don't have to stop us from trying to love again and again. Think of the love when you feel when you are loved by a spouse or a parent or a person who truly makes you feel seen and loved, even with your flaws. That is like 1% of how much God loves you. It is but a glimpse, a beautiful, glorious, wonderful glimpse. Can you imagine being loved to 100%? My goodness, but by a being who is love himself, my goodness, that is overwhelming and incredible. And that is what I'm about. And I want every single person in the world to know that love. One of the ways we know that love is through the people around us. Let us know how much we are loved, and let others know how much they are loved through the love we have for them. So that was my post about Plan A, confession and love. I was going to say, if anyone was interested in having a written version of this, if you want to read it, not just listen to it, feel free to email me. I can send you a copy. If there's lots of people who are interested in reading it, any of the messages that I've shared, I might put it on my website and you can find it there. But yeah, I'm not the most eloquent writer in the world or speaker. I hope that made sense and was coherent. But yeah, as always, I just hope that with these messages in particular, that the words that I write and the words that I say as God moves my heart, that they are words that are like a lamp in dark places. So if this was encouraging to you at all, feel free to let me know in the comments. I always appreciate your lovely, beautiful comments that speak to me and also uplift me in turn. And hope you are all doing really well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.